Timothy, I order you to stop. Your madness. You understand me? Enough.
Oh, I will decide when enough is enough, Thomas. Don't you understand what I've been through? It's over, brother.
Thomas, Timothy, please stop! This madness is driving me insane! I can't take any more of this!
Toby, please don't get involved. This is between Timothy and I asked you to hide. That was Optimus's orders.
No, I will interfere, Thomas! You are my friend. I am doing this because I care. You will remain silent, Timothy! And don't call me Tram-Engine. My name is Tobias, but lots of engines on this island popularly call me Toby for short. I am not a nameless waste, a piece of scrap iron. I am not a weapon. I am not a tool. I am not a spare part. I am an engine, a really useful engine. You think I'm scared of you? You should be scared of me. It's you should be scared of me. Laugh all you want. I mean it, Timothy. Don't make me angry. It's me you should be scared of. I don't know why you're doing this. This bloody damn waste of piece of crappy excuse of a war.
Oh, Toby, please watch your language.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare tell me to watch my language, Thomas!
How to start this fact. We already
What's so funny? You want to know what's so funny and why I'm laughing, Timothy? You call this silly little thing a war? No, this isn't a war. This is an immature, childish, bullying argument of child's play. I have fought in a bigger war more than you two would ever know! Both of you shut up and look at me! You both are not the only ones who had to go through pain and suffering. You think you two are the only engines on this godforsaken excuse of an island? Think that you both had to suffer, losing your brothers and sisters? Well, do you know what? I lost my brothers and sisters too. It was during the Second World War. Let me tell you everything what happened. You see, I was built at the same time as Gordon on the LNER railway. I was one of the tram engines who used to work there, alongside with my 3 sisters and one of my brothers, David, Perry, Grace and Molly. David was painted blue, Molly was painted green, Grace was painted pink, and Perry was painted purple, and I was painted brown. We both didn't have any numbers, but we had nameplates, and we had the LNER signature on both sides of our traction rods. Oh, no, not catching rods. My memory is playing up. The LNER signature on both sides of our side cow catchers. We were a happy family, shunting, pulling passenger trains, everything. And we felt so important. I've never been so happy in my life. But then, in the middle of the war, hell had ran. There was bombing, shootings. Me, David, Grace and Molly and Perry had to take coaches and vans full of soldiers to the docks, for them to be shipped off to Germany to fight on the front lines. And then he would come back to the docks and pick them up. They were dead, injured, wounded, and some of their limbs missing. I had never been so horrified in my life. I was so scared. But David, Molly, Grace and Perry were there to comfort me. But then, after the war was over, everyone was celebrating. It was a few years after the war had finished and everything started to turn to normal, but things were about to get worse. Soon, the manager of the LNER soon discussed it with Nigel Gresley to design a new sort of locomotive, the LNER B-12 class, like Alfred's class, Thomas, Alfred's class. Lots of them were rude, lots of them were kind, but the rudest ones were worse. They treated me and my brothers and sisters like tools and garbage.
Oh, what a pitiful engine you are. Besides, you would be only able to pull one truck. Oh, you'll be scrapped for sure, Toby. 'Cause the B-12s are the new thing. And you are part of the past. So go back to the year 1688 and don't even consider asking me for help, because I am a very splendid engine. Oh, that pitiful Henry. What a shame. It's just a prototype, and I'm part of the new lot. You, Toby, and your friends, stay out of my sight, and if you come near me, you will be scrapped. And I will assure that Mr. Sir Nigel Gresley fulfills my wish.
I lost my temper, and I biffed them. I biffed one of them in the back of an escalation shed, crushed and buried under its rubble. I was in big trouble with Nigel Gresley. Then my brothers and sisters stood up to me, cursing and shouting at him, telling him what an awful manager he was. He lost it, and he was about to sent us to be scrapped. But 1 week after that, the passengers witnessed of what he was like, and soon the police came and arrested him for corruption. Money. All he cared about was making money, just like the old controller did to you, Timothy. All he cared, he didn't know how to run a railway. But then, I didn't kill him. 1 week after that, the passengers began to complain. After what the passengers had heard, they went over and charged into the manager's office, cursing and shouting at him. What an awful manager he was, of how badly he treated us, and told him that this was an awful railway. And then they took him to court, and he was sentenced for 20 years in prison for corruption, abuse, foul mouth. All he cared about was making money. Everyone tried to raise money to help save my brothers and sisters. They were able to save me, but unfortunately for David, Grace, Molly and Perry, they didn't make it. They were already scrapped. Before the police came, I, in the middle of a siding where other engines, lifeless but standing, heard the horrified screams of my brothers and sisters being cut up and melted down. I was so scared, and that made me mad. But then they were able to save me. There was a nice manager who ran a railway in London. so I was sent over to a harbour. There was a steam tram engine, but he wasn't the same class as me. We were both from different classes. And then he came.
Who came? But wait a minute. You're not talking about but Montague.
Yes, Thomas, Montague. He was cocky, gloating, bantering, too big for his own wheels and always showing off. Loudmouth, disgusting, rude language. And I told him to shove his oil and fuel down where his smoke box was. And I warned him, if he ever threatened me or my friends again, I would knock his head codes out. He just snorted and I threw steam angrily at him. And Montague, red-faced, growled crossly away. But then, one night he was due to pull the express, so he told me. He was coupled up to the train and he stormed off. Well, I was informed to take a heavy goods train. I was in my old shape back then. The trucks there were absolutely pestering. They were holding me back. They were too strong for me. And I was on the points just before the main line. And then, before I saw him coming, it was too late. And I closed my eyes, and I was unconscious. We were both nearly dead. Some of the passengers were injured, but the rest were killed upon the impact. I thought we were both dead, but we were both mangled. There were charred, burning pieces everywhere. Somehow we survived, but we didn't die. Some of the most brilliant minds in manufacturing took me and Montague in, and soon they performed an experiment on me. Did you ever realise why I was so strong, Thomas? The builders took a part of Montague's engine from his body and planted it in mine, and soon I was painted into my Sodor livery, as you can see for yourself now. And then Montague was taken out of that diesel body, and he was in ducks. Duck wasn't even created back then. Then I heard a horrified scream as I began to wake up, but I was too young to even remember. And I was sent away to Sodor to work as a sanctuary for surviving steam engines, such as myself, due to my brothers and sisters being scrapped. Every time I think of them, I'm scared. Do you ever know what it's like? You think you two are the only ones who know what it's like to lose your own kin, your own brothers and sisters. And every time I close my eyes, I hear more horrified screams than any engine could ever count. But as I went to Sodor, I was so upset and enraged, and I didn't even remember or even why. But then I met and was given the most beautiful, happiest, precious coach in my life. And she made me better. Henrietta, my ever faithful coach. She made me happy. She was the most important thing in my life. And she made me happy. And I love her dearly. But then, Thomas, do you remember when I first came to Sodor?
Yes, Toby. You were trying to help me because the quarry needed an engine with cow catchers and side plates because of that policeman.
The law is the law, and we cannot change it.
Yes, Gordon was jealous, and you lot banished him, and he was upset and angry. Gordon was scared, horrified. The Diesels took him in because he wanted revenge. It wasn't because of his gloaty attitude, because he thought that we were all worth it and he wasn't, and we didn't respect him for what he did for all of us. And when Gordon kidnapped me, I met Montague, and he smiled psychopathically at me. I was so terrified I couldn't move. He told me of who he was, everything, and he brought all those horrifying memories back. But soon, when we were at the sheds, me and Henrietta were trying to talk sense into Gordon, and we did. Gordon, horrified in realization of what he had done, but he forgave us, and we were sorry, and Gordon helped me escape. Oh, you are a moron, Timothy. Both of you. You and Thomas are both morons. You have known what it's like to be scared and angry, and facing the light of facing the fate of life and death. The engines were angry and gone, but I snapped at them, and you let them realised, and you were sorry. You were all in tears, and you forgave Gordon, but Gordon also forgave you for how badly you treated him, how we badly treated each other, and we became good friends. Even though Gordon had a gloaty attitude, we still loved Gordon just the way he is. Number 4 Blue Express engine. As we escaped, they were almost on our tails. There were fuel tankers in the middle of a shunting shed, and the Diesels were heading right towards Gordon. I quickly shunted the trucks out of the way, and I buffered up to Gordon, and I quickly pulled him out of the way just in time, and the points were switched into the shunting shed. Sadly, unfortunately for them, one of the Diesels crashed into the shed and was blown up into smithereens, buried underneath the shed's rubble. It was our message to Montague that war had begun, and also to stay away from Sodor. Soon we prepared ourselves to fight. Diesels and the steam engines were off the track. Montague and Everton were trying to escape, but me and Thomas and Percy chased after him. But they were going to escape, and James and Edward and the other engines, along with Edward and Gordon, were trying to hold the Diesels back because they were too strong. So I told Thomas and Percy to head over there and to help them. And they did. They asked me what about me? And I told them, Montague is mine. And they told me not to because he would kill me, and I told them not to worry, I'll be fine. Trust me, I said to them. And they quickly went over to help the other engines, while I, angrily and outraged, as Duck and Everton kidnapped Henrietta, and I was more angrier than ever. And it went faster and faster, more faster than I ever went before. And soon I caught up with them, and I had them cornered. Unfortunately for me, they were on a sub. I cornered them on the side of a cliff. And underneath, at the bottom, was a deep blue ocean. I went closer, with an angry look on my face. And Montague said to me,
You sure about that? Didn't you say your son was alien? You said finger gun. You were already done it.
Alright! I'll give you back your engine, please! Don't hurt her! I'm begging you! You're forgetting one thing, Montague. I'm only part diesel, because no steam engine or diesel light could do this!
You come any closer, and I swear I will throw her into the sea. I swear I will. You think I'm bluffing? No. No. I don't bluff when something this important is at stake. So let's try this again, Toby. Either you come with me right now, give me back my engine, and die like you were supposed to many years ago, or you and your coach both die. Now choose!
I knocked Everton on his side on the tracks, and I biffed Montague hard and he hit the buffers, and then it jerked them, and I, slowly, with an angry look on my face, moved slowly towards him as Montague, scared of his own life, gasping for breath, and he shouted, "Be quiet! No, they won't! They won't turn on me because they've accepted for what I am and who I am! And I will fight for them! I am one of them now! They are my family, and I will fight for them! Now, I'm going to give you a third option. You are going to take all your diesels, and you can run back to your little harbour, and you are never to ever come back to this island. But if you try anything stupid, anything at all, I will change my mind. Don't make me change my mind. And Montague was about to kill me. He shouted, and he was about to kill me. I was horrified. I had no choice, and I biffed him hard.
Curse you, Tobias!
And he fell off the edge, and plunged off the cliff and landed in the sea below. I, horrified, watched him drown to death and rusted. Oh my God, what have I done? Oh no, you don't understand, Henrietta. I just killed another engine again. I promised you I would never do this. A good reason? You're right. The Sodor son. Thank you, Henrietta. Please, forgive me, Henrietta. But after what I did, And then I came back. Luckily, Edward was still on the rails while you and the other diesels were on your sides. We got the breakdown framed and we lifted you back up. We were sent to the steamworks along with the diesels and we formed an alliance and we have been great friends. But then, years later, Duck came to the railway and we were horrified and we wanted him out. But Duck was confused. Instead of me talking to Duck, I avoided him. Then Duck lost patience and asked me why I was avoiding him, and I told him what he said. But Duck was confused and told me that he never did anything. He told me that he was built on the Great Western Railway. The creator and his designer quickly made up a new plan. A pannier tank engine for the Great Western Railway, but they didn't know where to find a design. But when they heard the news that one of the engines was being pulled out of the ocean and it was Montague and he was dead, so they asked him and paid for the money to take the locomotive. But Montague was removed and they took the body, but Montague was removed. Duck came and he was created. And I was so ashamed of myself. I apologised because Duck said a very wise thing to me. There are two ways of doing things, he said. The Great Western Way or the wrong way. And I realised I was doing it the wrong way. I apologised to him and he forgave me. And we've been great friends for many years until this day. Then Oliver came. He was a nice engine too. Happily on Sodor ever since. Now do you understand? And now you know how Montague died, Thomas. I'm sorry if it's too horrifying for you to take.
I am so sorry, Toby. I feel terrible. And I'm sorry, Timothy. You're one of my brothers. Please, let's work together to stop the Decepticons once and for all.
It's okay, Thomas. I didn't mean to lash out or snap at you or Timothy. But look at you. The both of you. Look, Timothy. Look into that puddle. Look at your face. That's not the Timothy we know. What has become of you? Thomas, Timothy. Look at me. What would you both become? What would your brothers and sisters say if they saw you both now? I'm glad you both understand. And I'm sorry too, Timothy, for what you went through. Seems that we are both alike, and I hope you can rest in peace.
Thomas, I'm sorry. Please, forgive me. I can't help it.
And do you know what, Timothy? I forgive you. I forgive you for what you did. The old controller was a pathetic excuse of a man who led a pathetic excuse of a life. And now in the afterlife he is a pathetic excuse of a ghost, and he is in hell where he belongs. But you, Timothy, you could be so much more. One day, you will be given a second chance if you let your demon side go. You will be given a second chance, and you will be given a second chance of life again. Do we have a deal? I'm glad it's settled then. Well, go on, Timothy. Rest now. Be at peace. We are brothers and sisters. And when the time comes, come back, and your second chance of life will begin again. Farewell, Timothy, and I hope you enjoy your peace and rest.
Very informative, Toby. Or should I say, Tobias. Those people, those engines that you've mentioned, they may have all moved on. And some may have survived to this day. But know this. Today, we are allies. But tomorrow is a different story. Know that the ghosts of Montague and Alfred still haunt Sodor. I have seen them. And although you may not have seen them, they will come back looking for you. Consider it a warning, Toby and Thomas. Because I know everything. And I'm also not convinced about the old controller. That terrible man. He needs to move on. But right now, I have a battle to win. And I know that at the end of this day, one of us will stand. One of us will fall. I might not be convinced about Steel Shaw. I have some unfinished business to take care of with that warlord Megatronus. He will be the one that will first go to hell. And then I will deal with all of my past and destroy it. You are very informative, Toby. But now, I have a battle to win. In the name of the LBSCE2, in the name of our fallen brothers, I will teach Charleston a lesson. Paul Daniel, I will ensure victory for me and for the universe.
I'm sorry I snapped at you, Thomas. I'm sorry, really I am. I just couldn't take any more of this.
It's okay, Toby. I accept your apology. Thank you for helping me. I do know Timothy will get a second chance, but whatever's going through his system, he has to get rid of. He has to settle this on his own. And I understand your feelings. Your brothers and sisters will get a second chance too. Somewhere in the stars, they are watching over you. Because they know you always do a good job for Sir Topham Hatt. And he knows that you're a really useful engine. And I remember that when you first came to Sodor. You came to Sodor because you needed to help me get through the policeman situation. And you scared him the day after you came. I loved it. And I remember our fight against Montague. But if it's true what Timothy said about Montague's ghost, we'll be ready for him. And I think we shouldn't tell Doc about it until he finds out for himself. I also remember when Alfred came to Sodor, and he was being an arrogant engine. And when he tried to kill Gordon and Henry, I was in shock too. We were all in shock. Not because he tried to kill Gordon and Henry. It resulted in him being killed, and his crew. But if it's true about Alfred's ghost, we'll be ready for him as well. Thank you, Toby, once again. But even in doubt, Optimus Primal, from what Tigerhawk told me, he had to go through a situation, a similar one, where many years ago on Cybertron, he had to fight Megatron. But Megatron was in Optimus Primal's original optimal body. It goes way back, Toby. I'll explain to you another time. But it resulted in both of them sacrificing themselves to create and reformat Cybertron and revive everyone who was killed when Megatron infected the planet with his tyranny. I also remember the time when Gordon found out from Sir Topham Hatt that most of his class was extinct, dead, gone. But now it's just him and Flying Scotsman. But thank you once again, Toby. Thank you for standing up for me. I sure hope Timothy rests in peace. If he doesn't, we'll come back after him, better than ever.
Thank you for being there for me. Friends?
Friends.
Good. I'm sorry. Come on. Let's head back to the yards.
Thank you for the offer, Toby, but now I have to join the Autobots. They need me, because after my experience a year ago, I thought I'd return the favor. I'm going to help the Autobots win this battle against Steeljaw. Whatever it takes, we'll be ready for him and any of the remaining Decepticons that survived. But you, Toby, you can go back to the yard now.
Henrietta! Come to me! Henrietta! My sweet, sweet Henrietta! Much to your delight. Bantering and gloating again, I see. Never mind. At least we're still okay.
Release the human, Steeljaw. I don't want this to end in tragedy or worse. Here's my counter-proposal to you, Bumblebee. Surrender, or you and your friends will be destroyed. Let's consume these bots. What was that about consuming? Good luck. Come on, Seekers. Let me... Excellent, Thundercracker. That will knock them senseless. Oh, you didn't have to tell me that twice. I have returned after the humiliation I got 1 year ago. I am back. Better than ever. Prepare to feel the wrath of Skywalker! Yeah, I didn't think so. Steeljaw, I propose to you a truce. Earth for Cybertron. How does that sound? Look, can you just help me? We'll talk later. As for you, you have been sitting all this time doing nothing. Totally unproductive of a Decepticon like you, I imagine. But you badly mistreated. That's why you are a ghost of your former self. Obsolete ally on wheels.
You incompetent warlord.
You better leave now, Megatronus. No, Steeljaw, I got this.
I knew it. You have treated me like scrap. Well, guess what? I used to work on this island for Thomas. I wanted to be useful like him until that was taken away from me by my foolish controller. He knew nothing about engines, feelings, your emotions. You are one of them. I will destroy you.
You fool! I am Megatronus. I cannot be destroyed. I will
Send you to hell.
curse you, ghost train. Patrick to the rescue! Take this, and this, and this. See no trouble at all. Come on, Ned. I'm trying, I swear. Here, boss, got him. Well done, Kevin. Pest control at your service. Now is not your time. The time is for you to go and help your friends who need backup, who need you in this dire situation. One shall stand, one shall fall. Look at that. 2 birds with 1 stone. It's cracking me up. What the? How about you pick on someone your own size, Starscream? Ready, Magnus? Absolutely. That's them going to the scrap heap. Decepticons, merge into Menasor. Predatobots combine into Defensor. Aerial bots merge into Superion. It's all over, Superion Defensor. Seems you have met your demise. What the? Not so fast, Menasor. Ultra Prime is back. Yes! Autobots, merge into Optimus Maximus. What he can do, I can do better. He is going to wipe the entire island out. Not on my spark, he will not. Superion, Defensor, combine to destroy Menasor. I will destroy you all. Ah! Nice try, Motor Breath. Great work, Magnus. Decepticons, merge into Galvatronus. Oh, no, you don't. That's just Prime. No one will stop Lord Galvatronus.
I have returned for vengeance.
Oh, scrap.